Our journey begins at Norris Dam State Park near Rocky Top, Tennessee.
There are more than 4,000 acres of park to explore here at Norris Dam State Park. It has 800 miles of shoreline, and you can go fishing, skiing, and boating. We stuck to the hiking trails.
Our cabin was a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit with a full kitchen, fire pit, and grill.
For the first 2 days we were there, it rained the whole time, so we hiked in the rain. Our first trip was to the visitor center to check in since we had a late arrival the night before. The trail that leads from the back of Cabin 10 leads you to the tennis courts. It's called the Tennis Court Trail. There's also a swimming pool, a visitor center, and lots of other activities to do in this area.
For fans of civil engineering, the drive across Norris Dam is a must-do. This reminds me of Hoover Dam, except on a smaller scale. I always enjoy stopping at old mills that are dotted across the countryside, particularly in East Tennessee. The smell of an old building and the mechanical, hands-on machinery help me feel connected to the culture and a way of life that was present here in an earlier time.
This grist mill was originally built by James Rice and his sons in 1798. Caleb Crosby once owned this threshing barn, and it stood for 100 years on the banks of the Holston River. It was moved to this area in 1978.
The machinery in this threshing barn is another example of the technology that was used to accomplish work in the past. It's easy to imagine oxen or other livestock turning this shaft to grind grain or achieve some other task that required a lot of energy.
Another historic stop in the area is the Lenoir Museum. Will Lenoir collected items for more than 60 years. It was his hope that his collections would tell the stories of the area and of the hard work and ingenuity that were part of everyday life.
On this location, we are in between Norris Dam and a weir dam. The weir dam helps oxygenate the water for fish and other wildlife. The water levels here changed dramatically on an hourly basis during our visit to the area.
Very clear water.
After taking in the history at the museum and seeing the Weir Dam, we decided to take the Lakeside Trail. This trail also happens to be a storybook trail. This is an initiative by the state of Tennessee to encourage families to connect with nature and engage in a healthy outdoor activity.
This hike was a beautiful, short walk along the shores of the lake. It was an easy out and back. The hardest part of the walk was playing limbo with this fallen tree. After our hike, we enjoyed a little bit of dam walking to get better views of the lake, the river below, and the powerhouse.
Norris Dam is 265 feet high and stretches 1,860 feet across the Clinch River. They started building the dam in 1933, just a couple months after the creation of the Tennessee Valley Authority. It was completed in 1936. Norris Dam State Park has 15 trails. They range in length between half a mile and up to 5 miles. We found a trail that left from the cabin area, and that is the Marine Railway Trail.
Our hike on the Marine Railway Trail began with a steep northbound descent. This hike proved to be one of our favorites of the trip. We didn't see a single person the whole time.
The last hikes we got to take in the park were on the Harmon Loop and the Fitness Trail.
We decided to pass on use of the fitness equipment. Some of it was in disrepair and usage was not self-explanatory. One of the nice things about the Rocky Top area is that there are 3 parks in such close proximity to each other. They all take advantage of the lake and provide outdoor activities, but with slightly different amenities at each location. The hike at Big Ridge was the longest of the trip. We visited 2 cemeteries and a historic ghost house location.
For our hike, we linked together several shorter trails to make our loop of the park. We started on the Lake Trail, and we got to see the Big Ridge Dam. This dam was constructed in the 1930s by the CCC in conjunction with the TVA. After we crossed the dam, we started getting into some of the history of the area and the pre-1930s inhabitants of it. Up to the cemetery. The Hutchison family was a prominent family in the area. This family is even said to be linked to some of the eerie and unexplainable events that occur in this area of the park. There are several paranormal claims along the Ghost House Trail. One revolves around the family cemetery. Many claim that if you take a picture near the graves, you can see the silhouettes of the long dead standing behind them in the picture. I don't see anything in this video. Another claim is that a phantom dog has been spotted on the trail, or that you can hear it panting. The house that is called the Ghost House actually belonged to Hutchison's grandson, George Jones. The final claim is linked to Mary Hutchison. She died of tuberculosis. People near the spot where the house used to stand claim that they can still hear Mary's cries. We didn't hear any of that, so I guess you'll just have to hike the trail and let us know if you do. Our final stop in Big Ridge State Park was the Norton Grist Mill. There is a paranormal claim that goes along with this one, too. It marks the spot where a young girl was hung by her father for supposedly being a witch. The next clip in the video, I just really wanted to share with you. There's no visual, but it's auditory. I love hearing owls.
We visited Cove Lake State Park on Saturday. This park offers a lot of picnic locations and is clearly set up as a day-use destination. Guests can take advantage of pavilions, picnic tables, charcoal grills, and fishing to celebrate special occasions by the lake.
There aren't many trails here, but we did check out the ADA accessible Observation Deck Trail. Along with the picnic shelters and picnic tables, there are also 106 campsites in a campground here at Cove Lake State Park.
We rounded out our trip on Saturday with an evening of grilling and relaxing by the fire in front of the cabin.